From Plant Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, this is Joe. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car with my BFF Keyan and EK again.
Yo.
Keyan, how's your week?
It was good. I enjoyed my week. How was your week?
It was pretty good. A lot slower this week than last week, I think.
In what way?
In so many ways. But I think, finally being able to get some work done. Feels good. Feels good to get back some work done. EK, how was your weekend? Another week in Austin?
It's pretty fast, like surprise Friday again.
Yeah. How did you go anywhere interesting this week?
Nah, just Flop Lab, or at least I don't remember.
Awesome. So if you've never seen this crazy show before, it's we cover the top 5 stories of the week on stacker.news, the front page of Bitcoin. If you've never been there, come check it out. It's a cool place. We got all sorts of zaps going on. There's all sorts of territories. You can learn things. So easy your mom can use it. Keyan.
My mom is dead.
Sorry.
She's not dead, actually. Because she doesn't use it. I just didn't want to help you.
I was like, I don't remember you telling me your mom was dead. I was like, how did I miss that? Cool. Well, we're going to jump into the first top story. The first top story of the week is Coinjoin Workshop, aka Emessbee. Unstoppable Coinjoins with no coordinator. This is from Super Tiasniet, May 5th, Bitcoin territory. 33 comments, 19,000 posts. Baby boy, what's this?
Yeah, so this is another Super Testnet special using all his typical flavors. We have a client that runs in a browser, a Coinjoin client that runs in a browser and coordinates on nostr relays with other people also running the client. And then it uses something called ring signatures, which I do not understand, but I think they allow the participants to deterministically order the inputs and outputs or something in the transaction they're coordinating on, something like that, in addition to like accumulating signatures on it. And then one of them broadcasts it. But basically it's like a Wasabi or Samourai. He said this was like a tribute to the Samourai devs, but it does not rely on someone like Samourai doing the coordination, which is what they ultimately got in trouble for.
EK, did you read this post? What do you think of it?
I didn't read the GitHub repository yet, but I was live while Super, I was also in the lab while he was working on it. So that was pretty cool to see his thought process. And yeah, everyone participating, like how the name became a thing.
How did the name become a thing?
I'm not sure if Super explained it or if it should stay an insider, but if you say Emessbee a lot of times, then maybe you'll get the idea.
Yeah.
Emessbee.
Looks like you get a top comment from Blue Matt. He says, it looks like this has no concept of Sybil resistance, i.e. Chainalysis can just join and spam things and trivially de-anonymize everyone. It just picks a few peers and CJs with them. Instead, you might want to take a look at Join Market, which has existed for quite some time and has recently good liquidity and Sybil resistance in the form of Fidelity bonds. What's Join Market, Keyan?
Join Market is another Coinjoin tool that has like a decentralized network of coordinators. And so it's like Samourai, but is decentralized, and it's been around for a long time. And it's quite, it's not unlike Emessbee, I believe, but it does, as Blue Matt says in this comment, often what happens with these Coinjoin tools is Sybils or, sock puppets, fake people, one person operating as multiple people will join these things and occupy most of the slots in the Coinjoin. And therefore leaving only one, only a small handful of people, and sometimes only one person, as the person in the Coinjoin, meaning they're like not actually getting anonymized by it. And so what something like Join Market does is they have people put up Bitcoin, like a significant amount of Bitcoin, to mix a smaller amount of Bitcoin in order to make sure they're a real person and make it really expensive to do this type of attack. Anyway, that's, and I guess Super misunderstands him, writes a really long comment about a different type of Sybil attack. But it's still a great, explanation of how he thought through that process, not, I think, appreciating the fidelity bond, or maybe forgetting that he might want to include it at Emessbee.
EK, you got any thoughts on this?
I remember that we discussed Sybil resistance, but I think we only discussed it as Super described it here, as anti-denial of service. But yeah, there's also the problem with de-anonymization. So when I read the comment, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty important part of Sybil resistance here.
Yeah, it looks like we got Seth for Privacy said, okay, so after digging a bit, the most interesting thing by far here is the use of ring signatures, like those leveraged in Monero, to prevent any mixing round participant from being able to deterministically link other participants' inputs to outputs, all without a central coordinator. The zero, and then he goes on to explain the zero link protocol used by Samourai. He said, perhaps I'm missing something, but this could be extremely useful for Join Market to implement the census, the Sybil resistance of, so basically the same thing that Matt said. Is that right? Or
no, I mean, I think he's talking about Monero here specifically, and how this reminds him of the way Monero does anonymity. And I think, he does mention the fidelity bond aspect at the end, though.
Yeah. Interesting. Wasn't there a Monero thing that was on the site that got taken down? Was it? Did I see that on Slack?
Oh yeah, there's I think it's an in-person Monero exchange.
There was a.
You mean local Monero?
I think it was local XMR or something.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where the search engine was not indexing, so it might have been during that time, and I haven't fixed it yet. So
I saw it somewhere, but yeah. Cool. The next top story is Orange Pilling has stopped working. This is from Roy, May 7th, Bitcoin territory. 46 comments, 50K boost. Like to see the boost. 5,918 sats. Keyan, what's this? Another one from Roy, it looks like.
Yeah, this was another great post from Roy. They're always very good. I wonder if he has a cadence of doing blog posts. Maybe I can predict them in advance. But anyway, this is about, maybe orange pilling isn't working. Maybe, beating people with Bitcoin talking points and podcasts and books and on blogs and whatever is not really doing much for Bitcoin, because lots of people know about Bitcoin. And he's arguing that instead what we maybe need to do is actually build the better, brighter financial future that we're telling everyone Bitcoin is going to bring. And so just instead of telling them, actually build it and show them. And lots of great stuff in here. Another thing he says is, another point that I think I didn't really see anyone really identify and call out in the comments or have any conversation around, is he says focus on the affluent West first. Target them as your market, and then use them as your alpha and beta testers. Make it better, and then make it cheaper, and then address the rest of the market. I think this is something that people, especially in Bitcoin, we kind of want to serve the people who need Bitcoin most, but often they're not going to pay what little money they have for the crappy solution that you can deliver to them soon. And so better to target wealthy people who can pay a lot of money for your crappy solution now, and then you can make it better so that it's worth it for someone with less money later. And I thought that was a great point that I think it gets overlooked anyway, but I thought it was a great post.
Got context with the top comment. He said, I swear Roy is one of the most thoughtful people in the space. No, not the Bitcoin space, the space. He understands that Bitcoin is not the end, but the means, and he sees the way to make it obvious for others as well. Mad respect.
So by the space, does he mean all like the space, the outer space and the inner space?
I had no idea what that meant. EK, you got anything?
He meant he meant the universe, bro.
While reading the post, I felt like it was kind of a reality check. So I think we talk a lot. I think that's also probably the reason why he made the post, because we talk a lot about orange pilling. But I guess the reality check is it's probably not as effective, or no longer as effective as we might think. But what I was thinking, so he kind of went into we should show, don't tell. But I think orange pilling still works as in explaining to people, like basically acquiring devs, like the people who will build the stuff that we can then show. So yeah, we should just, I guess that's always a good thing to just do multiple things and not just rely on one thing.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you can misinterpret what he's saying here. I think he's just saying focus a little more on building, but I think obviously if people are hearing about Bitcoin on a Super Bowl ad, they're not really hearing about Bitcoin. They're just hearing the name. They know the name, and they know the price maybe, but they don't. So they have things they still need to learn, and especially people who we feel like will contribute disproportionately to Bitcoin, like builders. We definitely want to be talking to them a lot more.
Got Alex had a really good comment. Says, great article, Roy. Really love the show. Don't tell mindset. Quoting the wise. Steven, who email pilled you in quotations? Of course, it's no one. Email is just useful. So I thought that was also a pretty good comment.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so jaded by these type of these type of orange pill things at this point. I have so many thoughts, but I think at this point it's just like shut up and do what you think is the way to get the people there faster, and just do it. That's where my mindset is these days. It's not even about explaining myself anymore. It's just about, I know how I'm going to do it, and just going and doing it. I think that's, hang on, EK.
With Car, I think if you need to explain Bitcoin to someone, then maybe we should talk to them later.
Yeah, it's just pointless at this point. Yeah. And I think I have conversations about this with Michael all the time from Oshi, because he's done it for a really long time. So it's just, I think after a while you just kind of, yeah. The next top story is zap.store, permissionless app store. This is from FranZap, May 9th, open source territory, 31 comments, 5,701 sats.
Yeah, this is cool. So this is FranZap. He wrote a great post, I don't know, it was like a few months ago, where he like did a really huge deep dive on app stores. And I think it was in preparation for Zap Store. And now here's Zap Store. Zap Store is it's like an iPhone app store, an iOS app store, or an Android app store, but it's built on nostr. And so you publish the note to nostr as the app author with a link to the APK, I think, on Android, and people can view it in this app, and they can download it there. They can also verify that it's from the developer's account. And it's pretty freaking cool. And FranZap always does a really clean, like a very nice clean UI with his stuff. So I thought it was pretty awesome. And especially I would go back and read his old post on like where he just broke down app stores and the way they work and all the things that are bad with them.
EK, did you check this out?
Just read the post, but I guess you can always check out stuff more. But yeah, I like the idea.
Can nostr fix app distribution?
Cool. Yeah, I haven't played around with it too much, but it sounds like it's just an app store that you just download, I guess, on your Android phone.
I think it's a web app. Yeah,
it's a web app. Okay.
Oh no, wait. Maybe it says download here. Maybe it's another Android app.
Cool. Yeah, I've been using the graphene thing for a while now, for like a month. I've been kind of just playing with it. I don't see a point in using an iPhone anymore, to be honest, Keyan, other than iMessage.
You're doing a workshop tomorrow, aren't you?
No, a week from now or 2 weeks from now. But I don't know where it's at. It's right there. But dude, it does everything that you basically need to get going. I was telling EK about this. Like it's, yeah, I think it's just the future. And then I was also having conversations with other people. I do think the hardware is coming this next cycle. We're gonna get a phone. Bitcoiners are gonna get the phone. It is coming.
Well, we'll see.
EK, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Sorry. I have to keep muting him because he'll pick up everything in the lab, and it's jarring my ears right now.
Yeah. What is that? Like a condenser mic, or is that the?
Yeah, it's a condenser mic, and it's weird. Like it'll be quiet all day at the lab, and then as soon as Stacker News Live comes,
I think it's the
everybody
time
wants to talk.
in the afternoon on Fridays.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Zap.store. Cool. Is Stacker News on there? I guess it would. It's already on there, right? I guess it would be technically.
No, I think this is for apps you download.
So it wouldn't be like the ones that you guys make.
No, I don't think so.
They should
It's
just
like an
throw them in there.
iOS app store, an Android app store, not a web app store. I think someone already, actually, what's Brewman? Or Brugman might be the right
Oh, he's already
way.
made one?
He made one, a web app store using nostr. So
Cool. I'll check it out this weekend. Then also check out Fran's app's previous post. He has one called Can Nostr Fix App Distribution that Keyan was talking about.
Yeah, that was a top story the week that was written, and it was we went over it in an old episode, but it's very good read. Highly recommend.
Cool. The next top story is the end of social media interview with Jack Dorsey. This is a Bitcoin territory, May 9th, Soggy Cakes, 11 comments, 5,530 sats. Keyan, what's this? Another Jack story.
Yeah, I don't know if there was another one.
I feel like we had one last week.
Oh, maybe. Oh, we did? Okay. Yeah, but this is, so we didn't, I guess he's maybe doing a little more public facing stuff, but this is him with Mike Solana, who publishes on piratewires.com, and he interviews him about his recent exit from Blue Sky's board, because he was on Blue Sky's board. He talks about starting Blue Sky, joining Blue Sky's board. He talks about the end of Twitter, what was going on with censorship, why he's so bullish on nostr, what he's excited about with nostr. What else did he say in there? But yeah, just everything you kind of wanted to know about those last few years that he was at Twitter, and then what's going on at Blue Sky, what he intended, the way it ended up turning out, and why he's such a huge nostr bull right now, and why Bitcoin, because they're like, very similar in terms of what they promised to him in different domains. Even Steve Lee gets mentioned in here with Spiral, given that I think Blue Sky, because Jack was running simultaneously Twitter and Square at the time. They both started these kind of open source divisions in each of them, kind of like identical twins. And Blue Sky and Spiral, at that point I think it was still Square Crypto, but they started at the same time. Anyway, a lot of interesting stuff in here that I didn't know, so highly recommend it. Great interview, reads really well.
EK, did you read it?
I read, I think, the half of it, and then I realized, it's a really good interview. I got kind of sucked in, but I actually didn't want to spend too much time on my phone at the moment. So I kind of I actually wanted to do something else. But yeah, I like the history of how Twitter, Elon Musk is also mentioned.
Yeah, how Elon is thinking about censorship versus a Jack. That was an interesting bit in there.
Yeah. Look, we got top comment from Satoru Sora. I did talk about him earlier. He still seems really indecisive about many of the things he wants to champion. He's from a stacker. And then Bitcoin Albie says, overall interview is okay. We have to keep good things with us and bad things let go. Yeah.
People are so rude to him in the comments. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's easy to blame.
He does. So one thing I'll say is he blames the way Twitter went on the on the fact that they were a public business with an ad-based business model. So if you want to avoid being a Twitter, don't do those things. I mean, that's kind of, but he also talks about the government sticking its hands in and stuff and that aspect of censorship, but it seemed like more so the problem was the ad-based business.
Yeah. I feel like that's a whole... Did you ever read that Hatching Twitter? Did you ever read that book?
No.
That was a good book.
It's written by...
It was about all the founders and how they had so many problems in the early days.
Written by a journalist?
It might be. I think it's like Nick Bilton. I think Bilton or Bilton wrote that book. I could be wrong, but that's a really interesting book to read if you really want to know how Twitter... I think he just drew the short straw. I think like Evan and those other guys, from what I read, I don't know if this is true or not, but it seemed like Jack just drew the short straw as far as running Twitter. And so he came back. So it's probably something he never wanted to run, I would imagine. Because he was on already doing great things with Square and stuff. So anyways, but it does make you wonder like how all the early founder stuff plays out and whether that still ruminates, at least on the Twitter side, and then trying to do it right on the nostr side. But anyways.
Yeah, if there's anyone who knows how bad it can go, it's him. So glad to
Definitely.
have him on.
I didn't realize his eyes were green, though. Look at that.
I don't think they are green.
They are pretty green, dude. Look at that. It's almost like alien green.
That's blue to me.
Oh, is it blue?
Yeah.
Looks green on the
you
screen.
You might be colorblind.
Wait, is Stacker News not orange?
Nope.
Oh my God. Just kidding. Cool. Check out the post, Stackers, if you want to learn more about Jack Dorsey. The next top comment is the government's hypocrisy exposed by the Samourai prosecution. This is from Siggy47. May 8th, Bitcoin territory, 26 comments, 9,050 cents. What is this, Keyan?
Yeah, Siggy continues to school us in law. And this is another post he wrote about the Samourai case and like a defense that he thinks they can do. I think he posted previously about this selective prosecution defense, which I think is where you're like unfairly targeted by the government when they're like letting other people break the laws that they're accusing you of breaking, or they're, but he brings up a specific example that might help the defense in their case, where this bank here, I forget, it's like Standard Charter Bank or something, is caught. Like someone from the bank comes forward to the government and tells them that the bank is laundering money for Iranians and stuff, which are like we have sanctioned Iran for I don't know, decades now, and it was illegal to do. But the bank is knowingly doing this. They have several customers, and then I think it's hundreds of millions of dollars. I think it's like $250 million was something like that, or maybe it was $250 million. Yeah, it was $250 million, I think is what they said. Maybe $250 billion. I don't exactly remember, but it's a huge global financial bank. Anyway, they get off with a fine, and they in the like settlement or whatever ruling, they decide that they have to agree to not do it anymore. And then another whistleblower comes forward after, and they're doing it again, knowingly doing it again. And then all that happens is they get another fine.
This shakes out like almost like a novella or something, dude. Wild.
Well, I mean, it's like real crime. This is like true crime shit, because it's like this is what happens all the time.
Did you ever see the Narcos on Netflix? Did you ever see that? I feel like you could do that for like FinCEN. It's just like FinCEN. It's just FinCEN, Washington D.C.
I didn't like Narcos, but yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Where
but you could do something like that. Yeah, they talk in here about I think the second whistleblower came forward. I think they might have. They got harassed and silenced somehow, is my recollection of what I was reading. So yeah.
Yeah, let's right here. The FinCEN files show the bank filed at least 35 SARs on 31 customers that appeared in the documents Chandra and Knight sent to the FBI in 2013. Gosh, dude. These SARs filed after the whistleblowers had handed their information to the FBI. So I guess Siggy is putting together just a sort of what here then? He's just trying to show like...
Yeah, he's like, this is, so as a as a retired defense attorney, and of course he's not giving anyone legal advice. He's just saying like this is a defense that they could make. But he acknowledges that it's the selective prosecution defense is frequently just, not really respected. And what does it say? Historically, this defense is rarely successful. So usually it gets dismissed. But there's like a really great case to be made here that Samourai is getting special harsh treatment relative to anyone else who runs a service. And Samourai is nothing like these banks Siggy mentions in here. These banks these banks are actually, storing and holding and moving their money around for them in actual control of the spending of the money, in addition to knowing who all of their customers are, which Samourai does not know. And so they're actually conspiring, rather than just allegedly conspiring.
Gosh. EK, you got anything?
I have anything, I guess. Yeah, I like to stay updated by just using Stacker News. And yeah, I also like to learn these words like this, what was it called? Not special treatment, but
selective prosecution.
Yeah, selective prosecution. So that's like, now I feel more educated.
Oh yeah.
I like when Keyan explains it to me, like I'm 5, so that's what I wait for.
That's what I got to do. It's my job.
So it was a top comment. Top comment was from Cleophas. Says, thanks for keeping on top of this case. It's really interesting to follow along. This is one of the reasons all the KYC AML stuff is so frustrating. The only people who end up being forced to follow it are people who aren't rich enough to ignore it. What does he mean by that? Being forced to follow it, people aren't rich enough to ignore it. I guess he's saying the plebs.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. So he's saying if you have enough money, you don't have to follow these laws. They don't apply to you. You can just pay people off or something. The government, you get the fancy lawyers.
Yeah.
You'll settle. What does it matter to you?
Cat Verdi said, hold up, are you suggesting double standards? Question marks. Say it ain't so. Exclamation point. Not my government. Exclamation point. This is the land of the truth and justice. Yeah. Cool. I think that's all the top stories of the week. There's a lot going on this week as far as the law.
Dee-dee-do.
Yeah.
Dee-dee-do.
Cool. We're going to jump into, before we jump into meta, let's jump into our top stories. This is Keyan's top story. Is our culture set up to handle scarcity? It's from David W. What's this?
Yeah, this is cool. I like any talk of scarcity. There's like a few things that come up around Bitcoin that I think are like these like tertiary, like ancillary things around Bitcoin, like scarcity, like this intersection of Bitcoin and like human psychology and stuff. Scarcity, trust, I find really interesting. But anyway, this post itself is about scarcity and just brings up a variety of research around scarcity and what the effect it has on people. And, in most cases, scarcity creates, like most studies show, that it makes people kind of dumb on a relative to people, even in the same person. When they're not experiencing scarcity, they're smarter. And so that was pretty cool. But there are other instances where where scarcity, doesn't, like, I think one instance here that they had poor people who took on debt, and immediately after they took on debt, they performed well. And then when they had to begin to pay off their debt, then it became actually a cognitive burden, and they performed poorly. And so there's just, there's a lot of interesting things. This is like a particular kind of scarcity. I don't know. Bitcoin is like abstractly scarce. This is more like scarce on necessities. Maybe a bit different, but it's interesting, these kind of things. But that's what the post is about, and I liked it, and that's why I picked it.
EK, you have any thoughts on this?
I was wondering, was it Jeff Booth who said scarcity creates abundance? Because I feel like that's
it was
part of the team here.
No, yeah, he quotes in here Parker Lewis, who said Bitcoin, I think it was like Bitcoin scarcity, is going to create abundance. Was kind of the, so how cool is that? If something's scarce, makes makes abundance.
Yeah.
Gradually, then suddenly, author.
Cool. We got a top comment from 0x Bitcoiner, says, nobody knows what the future holds, but I doubt it will happen. I believe that many of the coins that are lost will be from a time when they weren't worth much. As the value of Bitcoin increases, people are more likely to take care of them. I think the rate of new coins being lost forever is decreasing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. People are getting better. Secure wallets are getting better. Hardware wallets are getting better.
Cool. The next one that you had was nostr client magstr/blogstr. This is from Santos. What was this one, Keyan?
Yeah. So Santos released these nostr clients, which I think he explained to me when he was here for BTC++, what they were, but it's basically a blog tool where you're like, here's my npub, and you can like create a blog around your npub. But additionally, he plans to make it so you can specify multiple npubs, and then you basically have a magazine from multiple npubs. Like you could take yours, Topher's, Austin's, other people in the lab, and create like a Pleb Lab magazine. Cool. Where all like the long form content they're posting, and you could maybe style it uniquely. But you know, the underlying software is the same. The way the data is stored is the same. And I just thought I think it's a really awesome concept.
Yeah. I was hanging out, helped them a lot. He was, we had dinner a couple of times. And he was telling me about the gaming side of like the whole nostr thing that's about to erupt. I thought it was interesting. EK, you got anything?
Nope.
Heard my name in the back.
Oh,
I said when we create a Pleb Lab magstr blog, you know, like Santos's magstr. Oh, I don't know Santos. I think you actually commented on it.
here, hang on.
Anyway, I said we would add you to the Pleb Lab.
Oh, magstr. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, it was like your like your website that you created.
No, I didn't create it.
Oh, that was someone else's?
That was a ublog.
Yeah, but that reminded me of that. Very similar idea, which I think is an excellent idea.
Did you see this, what is this?
The magstr.
Oh yeah, Santos showed it to me. Yeah, I feel like it's an amazing concept and it's overdue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people have wanted this I think a lot of people would use this thing. People who probably aren't on nostr yet, but probably would desire something like this.
Yeah, because nostr quietly works in the background.
You don't have to be, I don't know, on these social apps interacting with Bitcoiners to appreciate this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, kudos to Santos.
Yeah, very cool. He posts about his global hackathon league. He was telling me a little bit about that, but I think it's like some decentralized hackathon or like a more, yeah.
Oh, look at that trophy.
Yeah, the visits to Pleb Lab, Bitcoin or Big Block Boom. Here's him at a.
Dude, he's a fascinating
hackathon.
guy. He was telling me about how fast he learns. Like the guy learns really, really fast. Did you know that, Topher?
He's a brilliant guy.
Yeah. I love Santos, brother. Cool. We'll check that out. I'm gonna bring up one post I had CASCDR. So Uncle Jim went on Guy Swann's podcast. Can you believe it?
Dude. Star.
And he was talking about CASCDR, but
when he's gonna get his name on the Walk of Fame in LA? Is it happening soon?
So if any snackers at home listening, check out the pod that he did. Have you listened to much of the AI Unchained pod that
I have not. I know Guy has the Shitcoin Chronicles, and of course he has Bitcoin Audible. I listen to a lot of Bitcoin Audible, but I haven't done this one yet.
Yeah, he brings you up. He brings up Snacker Days, brings up a lot of people inside of Pleb Lab. But it's good. It's good to hear Jim out there talking about CASCDR. We're going to be doing a CASCDR launch party this month, Keyan.
Oh, Jim told me.
Yeah, it's going to be big. Can't wait. But yeah, CASCDR, and I feel like there's only 2 AI companies that I know of, or 2 AI startups. It's OpenAgents, and then it's CASCDR, right? Is there any other? Have you seen any other AIs?
Well, not like ones that are kind of like them. I know there's pay-per-queue.
Oh, okay.
There's like where you can pay. There's also Unleashed Chat, which is from NVK. There's quite a few like there was also what is it? Satoshi Spirit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So a lot of Bitcoiners I think are interested in this kind of stuff.
Cool.
I just don't. I think both CASCDR and OpenAgents are more. It seems like more picks and shovels, and so probably more likely to be bigger businesses.
EK, you got anything on this?
Yeah, Jim talked to me about CASCDR and also some Stacker News integration stuff, like a bot. So yeah, looking forward to that.
We need to get Jim a designer though. That's what I want to get.
He designed the whole thing himself.
I know.
Cool.
But he admits he's not a UI guy.
I think it looks. I think you can never go wrong with just going all black. So I told him that a couple times, but
yeah, it is. It's a cheat code for sure.
Cool. I think that's everything. We're gonna jump into Meta. What's going on Meta this week? A lot of stuff released. It looks like.
Yeah, we did hash. So now we don't store your emails in plain text on Stacker News anymore. We have no way of determining your email, which basically is what this allows. What we do is we hash them, which means when you come back with the email and you're like, "This is me," we can still determine the account that it's associated with. But when you haven't given us your email in that moment, we don't know it.
So you're really not trying to keep any data, huh? Wow, look at you.
I don't know if anyone's done this before with emails. They should, because it's pretty, you hear about all these email database leaks that happen at these Bitcoin companies. Well, don't store them in plain text.
How would you do that though? How do you do that for your newsletter and stuff?
Oh, you can't do that for a newsletter.
Oh.
Yeah, because you need to be able to send them email.
Okay.
But they can, you can encourage them to use an alias. I don't know. You could do other things.
But as far as login,
you don't need to store their email address.
Why would you? We've talked about this before. Why would people store people's email addresses in the Bitcoin space?
Because they haven't thought of a way to not do it. It's easier just to store it in plain text. Like a lot, like all these password leaks and stuff. Same thing. The standard practice with passwords is you hash them. To the point where you don't actually, you as the service provider, you don't even know the person's password. So if you get hacked and your database gets leaked, no one can see that person's password because people reuse their passwords, and that's a big problem when those databases leak. But the standard practice now is to hash them. So we do that with even the person's email address, and so can literally anyone who doesn't think they, deserve access to the person's email address.
Nice.
Yeah.
EK, you got anything to add there with the email stuff?
If I would have to guess why people don't hash the emails, because usually the passwords are salted, but there is a unique salt per password.
Oh.
So I guess people didn't realize you can still hash the emails, but just use the same salt for everyone. So you can still look up the specific account, because else you just have to search through all emails to find, and you get the salt for every email, hash them, check if that's now the account. But if you just use the same salt for every email, so it still works. So it's still random, and yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, that's something we did, which is I think it's pretty cool. And then you can hover over Stacker's NIM. So if you hover over Philippe's NIM there, it'll get a little pop up for you.
Wow, look at that, finally.
Yeah, so you get a little pop up.
It's been 3 years, Keyan.
Yeah, I know. But we got to do what we do. We're still working on Tor stuff with the wallets. Image uploads are more private now because we don't pre-populate the alt text. A lot of wallet stuff and small bug fixes. EK made it so you can clear your wallet logs.
Oh, the Oscars. How's that going?
Oscars are going great. I think we're at 6 million sats now. I don't remember, but yeah, pretty.
So how does this work?
Almost
again
at
for the stackers
100,
at home?
100 contributions.
You just got to submit.
You can go to our GitHub and you can read the README, and it breaks it all down. We have rules that are, fairly deterministic. So you're like, if I do this, I'll get paid this. And you can even just put feature requests on GitHub.
Boom. There you go. You heard it here first, stackers.
And you can get paid
Go
money.
do feature requests and you get paid money. Dang.
Yes,
Keyan,
indeed.
bringing the sats everywhere.
Yes, indeed.
Cool. And then you're also hiring, right? I saw this somewhere. I forget where I was at, what website I was at. Somebody was pimping out your hiring thing here.
Oh, it might have been like Jobster or something.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where it was.
Yeah.
Got 0x Bitcoiner says, I'm not sure if this was intentional, but the rewards estimates for non-hidden stackers are no longer displaying. What does he mean by that?
Oh, there was a bug that I fixed shortly after that it was talking about.
Cool. EK, how's everything going with the wallet stuff? It's the update.
Basically done, but I still always look over the code. Can I do something better? And yeah, I keep getting ideas, but I guess I already talked to Keyan about it. Maybe we shouldn't ship it faster, get the feedback, and then think again about.
Well, the context EK is talking about the wallet stuff he's currently working on, which is an improved UX for the non-custodial payment flows. And so that should get shipped next week. But we're continuing to do what we doing.
Coming, what's the correct term now? I know there's a couple of new floating terms for wallets. Is it non-custodial? Is it
I call it
self-sovereign?
not custodial.
Not custodial. Okay, that's what we're rolling with. Not custodial wallets.
Not custodial. Stacker News itself is not custodial. But other people might be custodial, and you might attach custodial sources to Stacker News. I don't know. Maybe you have an eCash wallet. Maybe you're using Cashew. Maybe you want to zap nuts to people on Stacker News, and that's what you want to do. But we are not custodial.
There you go. You heard it here first. Going to the top stackers for the week. This is super stat segment.
God, those three people, they're always hiding. But those
we know who those are, though.
Who are they?
Come on. EK, you go ahead and say it this time. I don't want to keep doxing them.
Maybe it's Car.
Yeah, right.
It's Car. It's his sister.
No, it's not me.
It's his.
It's the ones who aren't there. Anyways.
Yeah, it's the stackers that you know well, who maybe I don't know. They're gonna hide anyway. People who aren't hiding are me, Gray Ruby, Undisciplined, 0x Bitcoiner, Krista J.
Darthcoin's not hiding. I thought he was hiding.
Who?
Darthcoin.
Oh no, Darthcoin doesn't like the hiders. He thinks he's upset at them. Darthcoin is probably working on a Citadel right now. I would bet. He's out there. He's like throwing around those bags of sand or whatever he puts Bitcoin seeds in.
Yeah. Awesome. Look, there I am. Right there in your face, EK. I'm right there, number 80.
Sure.
Yeah.
Convenient. You know a little HTML.
We're going to jump into the most boring segment, Bitcoin Cowboy segment. This is really boring.
Oh, this is a great segment. Everyone loves this one.
It's good to see everybody's not hiding now, except for one person hiding.
One person is above me. I don't know who it is, but
all I'm saying,
howdy.
If we rolled back 3 months when I was saying, "Come on, Carmen," would have had the top spot by now.
No, I was still ahead.
Would you still ahead of him?
Yeah, I was still ahead of him, and so was the other person who's in hiding. Would be ahead of him too. Ben dropped out hard and fast.
Yeah.
Almost, not as hard and fast as Tony did. Because Tony just got.
Well, me and Tony are on the same page as far as the cowboy stuff.
Tony was into it until he couldn't hold on to it. It was too.
I just want to buy a cowboy.
The hats are too hot to handle for you guys. I know some of you guys have been in Texas for a while, but really,
look, see, I have a cowboy hat. 4 days, boom, your face.
Yeah, that's some cowboy.
What's your longest streak?
What's my longest streak? I think it's like 21 days. I think. Cool. We're gonna jump into. Oh yeah, million sat.
There is no million sats.
We're gonna jump to million sats leaderboard.
Well, it's just for the day, so you're seeing the leaderboard for the day.
I still go to this every day.
Yeah, I think the leaderboard's a good addition.
Why does this change number keep changing right here?
What's
Did you see
changed?
that? It changed to 122. Okay.
Oh, so maybe
doing it
someone donated to it.
now. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like Undisciplined is probably going to get a higher reward today than me. And then rsync, and then the 3 people who are hiding.
CASCDR, look, he's number 23. Oh yeah, I got to shout out Atlantis Pleb. Did you see this? He got a new territory. He moved his whole community, his whole OpenAgents community to Stacker News, Keyan. It's happening. Telling you. It's good. It's good.
Let's see how that goes. I'm curious about it.
You got Plub does that. They're doing it, and I think who else is doing it?
Well, he mentioned he was going to try.
Is it Mempool that did it? Yeah, Mempool. Right
Mempool has one. They don't really use
They
it.
don't use it though. But
Yeah, but I'm curious. He said they're tired of Discord. I think a forum is actually a better for like support-ish requests and talking to customers. I think the like semi-sync of a forum is a little better. It's not. I guess it's not semi-sync, but it's like things are a little long-lived and easier to read
it
than
picks up
chat.
too. It picks up too, and then also Austin does it for his Plub Dev stuff.
You can also it's also discoverable by SEO, which if you're answering support requests, you don't want it in a Slack chat or a Discord, which Google isn't indexing and no one can find, and you have to answer 1 million times.
Yeah, it's just better to. We do it for the builders one, but I don't know. I haven't gone on there lately, but see, people started adding to it now. I don't even have to add to it as much anymore.
Well,
There you go. Anyways, it works. If you're a Bitcoin company, you should think about getting a territory. Well, it's still inexpensive. Cool. I think that's everything. Did we cover everything? That was fast.
yeah, we did a fast one this week. That's how we're rolling these days.
Cool. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend? Can you have my phone? We got zaps to read. There's multiple zaps there.
Car's got an iPad from 2000 or an iPod from 2005. What was I? Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What am I doing this
It's the
weekend?
same question every week.
That's right. I was just making sure you weren't.
For 119 weeks in a row.
I
It's
just
the
make
same
sure you
question.
weren't
What are you
getting
doing
creative.
this week?
That's right. I should prepare for this.
I know. I asked you the same 2 questions. So, how was your week?
I'm
and then at the end, I
I'm
asked
gonna
you,
make
how was the
croissants
end
from
of your-
scratch and
Oh, you
jam
are?
from blackberries in my garden.
Bring some croissants in. Those are good.
There you go. That's what I'm gonna do.
EK, what are you doing this week?
I'm looking forward to get out of the town. Like, not still in Austin, but I'm gonna move from the hostel to an Airbnb, which is a bit more far out. And I actually because I've been living in a city center for in where I come from. I also live in a city center. Now I'm again in a city center.
Oh, wow. So you're trekking to another part of Austin.
Yeah, to near the lake.
Yeah. Well, you'll be near a lot of us, so reach out if you need anything. We got we got a lot of covers. So you had one from episode 117. He goes, "Oh shoot, it's super. We missed you here at SNL." Then he said, Vake said, "Super Testnet should be the unofficial third host of the show." From
Fortunately, he's
SNL
never here.
SNL 118, there was just a cheers from Peas, and then Blockchain Boo gave us a zap. And then if we go to this other one here, we got, this is from Vake. He said, "I can't afford to go to strip clubs, so instead I tip podcasters and then imagine them naked."
Hey,
It's right here.
I hope you like what you see.
Oh, my
That's
God.
that's a birthmark, if you're wondering.
We got Ben Allen said, "Yo, stackers, the local Monero item." And then Context said, "Sup, freaks. Yeah, I just meant that Roy understands psychology and economics in the broadest sense. Experience over education." What do you get
Inner
with that?
space and outer space.
Is that what that means? Oh, experience over education. Huh.
I think he was the one who said Roy is the smartest person in the space.
Yeah. Cool.
What are you doing this weekend, Car?
I think I'm just going to relax. Call my mama. Talk to her. Call my sister. Talk to her. And then
What do they say to you?
just going to talk. Like, it's Mother's Day, so try to have like
is it Mother's Day?
Try to have like
My
a
mother's
good
dead,
long,
so-
try to have a good long conversation with each of them.
Yeah.
Women like that stuff, Keyan.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what women are like, but I believe you.
EK, you calling your mom this weekend?
I tried calling her, but I guess time zone makes it a bit difficult.
What time would it be over there? Then it would be like what, 4 a.m. You have to call her.
It's a 7 hours shift, so I have to call them in the morning here.
Well, Stackers, if you're out there listening, you call your mom this weekend, and
Even if she's dead, phone it into the grave.
You drop her some flowers at the grave and pour one out for her. But yeah, definitely.
She likes booze.
Tell her how much you enjoy being on this planet, and you're enjoying life, and you're gonna make it better with Bitcoin.
You tell your mom about Bitcoin?
If she asks,
Does she ask?
not really. I mean, she go, "Oh, mijo," stuff like that.
Oh,
She asks more about the community stuff, to be honest. Like, she'll ask me like questions about that. Like, oh, how did you do that? How did your event go? She'll ask stuff like that, but she won't really ask about the Bitcoin stuff too much.
We should go orange pill like senior homes. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of orange pilling,
maybe that's where the orange pilling actually starts.
well, that's right. I think we're just going after the wrong generation.
You really need to go. What's the generation above the boomers? What is that one?
I don't know.
What's that one?
The Sparkers?
The silent generation?
That's like after the boomers, I think.
What was the one before the boomers?
I think maybe it was the silent generation.
Yeah,
maybe
we need to go straight to the silent generation. Like, skip the boomers.
They probably got all the money too,
What's the one after the Zoomers?
Gen X, right? No? Is that different?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about these other people.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
they
there will be no
call
generation after the
themselves.
Zoomers. It might be.
Wait, you think we're gonna go extinct?
I'm just kidding. Cool. Cool. You got anything else, EK?
No.
All right. Keyan.
Excellent, Zap.